Hey everybody, Alex from SeemsGoodMagic.com here. Welcome to another League Draft. Eldritch Moon, Shadows over Innistrad. We're nearing the end. Kaladesh is right around the corner. A lot of people ask me if I've pre-released already. I did not. So you're going to be watching the online pre-release of me doing Kaladesh, and that'll be my first interaction with the cards, which is pretty exciting. So I'm looking forward to that. We're still a week and maybe a little bit of change away from pre-releases, but just enjoy the remaining Eldritch Moon videos in the meantime. And please subscribe to the channel and like the videos if you have not already. Thank you so much. All right. Starting her off with Collective Defiance. Very good card. In the same pack as Incendiary Flow. Unfortunately, I'd love both of these cards. Very powerful. And a Vildan Pack Outcast, which is also insane. Other good cards in here, definitely. Stitchwing and Gnarlwood Dryad are very good. And Tattered Haunter, I've come to appreciate a lot. Okay, so the only red follow-up pick is Insatiable Gorgers. We have Choking Restraints, Boon of Emrakul, Certain Death as well, and a Duskfeaster. So I think it's stay on color with Collective Defiance, which I'm kind of leaning towards. However, Insatiable Gorgers is nothing to write home about. It is a good card. It's efficiently costed. It is efficiently costed. A 4-mana 5/3 in red is not super common, but it is significantly weaker than these other cards. Restraints is definitely the best of the 3 removal spells. Boon is going to be slightly worse. I think I give a slight edge to black-red over red-white, though. This is really just take a card and hope you went the right direction. I think we're going to take the Boon. It's worse than Choking Restraints, but... Ooh, well, geez. We could take another Boon, but I'm going to take the Werewolf here. This is a great card. Very strong. Another Tattered Haunter, too. I had 5 in a stream deck. That was sweet. Yeah, Tattered Haunter's pretty good. All right, Werewolf. I see. Okay, so we can take Abandon Reason, which is good. We can take Malevolence, which is good. Yet another Tattered Haunter. I might just want to take the Abandon Reason this time. I think I still give the slight edge to Borrowed Malevolence over Abandon Reason, because you just pay 1 mana. But I like my red cards more than my black currently. I could also just take the Haunter and speculate on blue-red. There's also a Shrill Howler, red-green werewolves. All of that is well and good. Huh. I'm going to take the Abandon Reason. We're going to take the red card. I want to make red work at this point. Okay, I mean, 5th pick Kessig Prowler might be a sign. This card's very good. And it certainly seems like the best card remaining here. I like Spectral Reserves a lot, too. But we'll take the Prowler. Alright, so now it's Reaver, Primal Druid, a Weirded Vampire, or a Woodland Patrol. All of these cards are obviously not that exciting. Yeah, all of these cards are pretty underwhelming. I'd probably just take a red card, so we'll take the Reaver. Just make sure we make the red work. Ooh, well, that is an ultralight captive, and that is exactly the kind of sign we're looking for. So that is great. Captive is an amazing card. I love Grapple with the Past. Very, very powerful spell. This is one of those ones, I'm not going to brag too much, but yeah, during, what was it, Eldritch Moon spoilers, I remember I said this card looked great. People thought I was wrong. I think it was immediately criticized as being worse than Vessel of Nascency. And you know what I'd argue? I'd argue it's actually turned out to be better than Vessel of Nascency. Being able to basically bring back any creature, not just the ones that you revealed from the card, is pretty awesome. Wield Gnarlwood Dryad. Well, at least we found we're supposed to be in green. That is good news. You know, I actually like Crop Sigil. I know people don't like it and they think this card's terrible, but I disagree. I actually think Crop Sigil is pretty good. Alright, Aid of the Horrid Swarm and Field Creeper. I'm going to take the Aid of the Horrid Swarm. I like Emerge. Aid of the Horrid Swarm, probably my least favorite Emerge, but it's still fine. Alright. Getting some good green cards. Letting people take that. Got it. Alright. So we started off on red, ended up just getting a ton of green, which is great. It's good to get information like that. I found this format is really difficult sometimes to know what color is open. All right. So here I think we're just going to take the Bombardment, get some removal. Spirit of the Hunt would be good in these colors especially. Shrill Howler is good. I like the Captain. Both Behemoth and Wretched Griffin here, but we would like some cheap spot removal. Bombardment is great for that. Okay, I personally love the Survivalist. This pack has some good cards though, geez. I don't love Infiltrator. I'll certainly play it. I don't prioritize this card super highly. Blessed Alliance is very good. Chilling Grasp is good. Angler, Angel, Priest. A lot of good options, but I'm happy to take Survivalist. Like I said, this card has just proven to be an excellent cost for body. Alright, well we have a Tango Claw Werewolf in here, which I think is fine, but I think I'd prefer the Prey Upon. I'm not huge on Tango Claw Werewolf in general. This deck needs some better bodies though, admittedly, for Prey Upon. I'm sort of hopeful we can find them at some point at least, but I think I'd rather have the Prey Upon option here and find some good bodied green and red creatures. Alright, so second Survivalist or second Grapple with the Past. There's also a Permeating Mass in here, but that's whatever. I kind of want to take the second Survivalist. Our Delirium is currently a Gnarlwood Dryad, a Crop Sigil, and a Survivalist. So we have 3 Delirium. Our Delirium enablers are Crop Sigil, Grapple. And I guess that's it. It's tough. I think I'm going to take the second Survivalist and hope we maybe find a Vessel out of the third pack or find another opportunity at Grapple, maybe. But big Survivalist fan. Okay, this might be the right deck for Blood Mist, actually. I think red-green's probably where this card shines the most. I mean, if you have a Survivalist that has Trample, this card's going to be insane. And even if you self-mill it, it's putting an enchantment in your yard. So it helps Delirium. But yeah, it is absolutely insane with big fatties. So we'll take it. Could take a Terrarian too, I guess. Crop Sigil number 2. Alright, maybe we're getting a little excessive there. Alright, let's take the Reaver. I don't know if I'd play double Crop Sigil. I don't even want to play double Reaver. We'll take the Hostility here, which is just a good card. Ooh, third Survivalist? Alright. Well, I guess I kind of wish I'd grabbed the second Grapple now, but I'll take 3 Survivalists. Like, they're still just fine. Alright, Hamlet Captain's actually a really nice pickup for us. Strict upgrade to these Reavers. I think we're just going to nab the unplayable red card from here and let the rest of the people at the table have free reign on those colors we're not in. This time we'll take the Staff, I think. Not really the card I'm looking for too much, but Cultist Staff is playable in a pinch. It's like the poor man's True Faith Sensor. Alright, we're just going to let the rest of our table have those cards. Have at it, friends. Alright, these we're trying to cut red, so we'll take it. Pass that. Got it. All right, so here is a deck after pack 2. Cards that we want to cut. I think this guy. I think probably the staff. Probably at least one of the Reavers. I don't want to run both of those. Don't mind my cats just enraged on each other in the background. Howlpack Resurgence currently. Prowler. Captive. Smoldering. And Wolfkin Bond. Well, that's not enough. So we can take Thraben Gargoyle, which is good for Delirium and a good finisher. Veteran Cathar that we can't activate. Byway Courier, which is good with Captain, good for Curve. Fork in the Road, which also fuels the Delirium. I think I want the Gargoyle. I want an artifact creature for Delirium purposes. And like I said, I really like Thraben Gargoyle a lot for just putting games away. So, alright. Let's take it. Ooh. Lambholt Pacifist. Well, not a lot of other things I would take over the Vessel of Nascency, but you know what? Lambholt Pacifist is certainly on that list. So we'll take it. Very strong card. Ooh, well, second Gargoyle. Here's our True Fate Sensor chance. So True Fate Sensor is going to be good with anything, but it's particularly good with humans, which we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of. Is that it? Thought we had more. It still might be just good enough to take here. My deck needs creatures, though, which kind of makes me want to take a... Could I take a second Gargoyle? Still seems better than Blood Mad Vampire. At least we have this Pacifist for our Prey Upon. I was worried about that. I think I might take the True Fate Sensor here. There is some serious upside to the card, regardless of whether we have a ton of humans or not. So let's cut the staff. Take the True Fate Sensor. Heirloom, I mean, if I didn't only have, 4 cards that flip, that might still be enough, but we're just 2 creature light, I think, unfortunately. So let's focus on taking some creatures here like Quilled Wolf. Like I said, I would love Neglected Heirloom. I think even 4 is probably enough to abuse this card. But we already have an equipment, and we need creatures. So I think we got to take a closer look at our tricks. And maybe even the Blood Mist, unfortunately, kind of has to... I think the weakest of these is probably the Grit, so we can cut that first for this Quilled Wolf. So there's a Gloom Widow. We have Stoic Builder, which I think actually is going to be decent in this deck with Crop Sigil, Hamlet Captain, Grapple. We could get a land in there, I think. And Gloom Widow is actually decent, but I feel like I probably want to be able to block. But maybe we can beat down? Maybe? See, it's kind of not that great with True Fate Sensor, though. You want to be able to block. Bob Manley basically... Yeah, it's better with True Fate Sensor and it can block and potential upside. All right, we'll take Bob. We'll take Mr. Manley. All right, Rabid Bite, I think we got to take over Cult. Even though I want the Cult of Personality. I might actually like Hostility more than Reason. I've always kind of had difficulty with that one, too. You can pay the low price. This one you have to pay the premium price, especially since we have no Madness outlet. All right. Honestly, we probably end up cutting them both because I do, for some sick reason, want to make Blood Mist work in here. But I don't know if it's going to happen. All right, Dual Shot. Probably take for sideboard. Shard of Broken Glass, if I had more of a Delirium plan, I think would actually be kind of reasonable. But Dual Shot can be excellent out of sideboard, so we'll take that. There's a Pyre Hound too, but I don't think that's going to happen. Stone Quarry. We don't have any white spells to splash. Probably just take a Root out for sideboard, which can be useful. All right. So Howlpack Resurgence now. What did we end up with? Like 5 wolves, maybe 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But to be honest, I don't even know if Wolfkin Bond's going to make the deck. Fork in the Road, Bob Manley is a synergy. And it helps with delirium. I wish Resurgence was a little bit. Oh, we got the Vessel back. That's really nice, actually. All right, aim high is good too. So we ended up with some actually really good options in here. We're a bit creature light, but I mean, in a pinch, we can still bring in the Reaver. I just don't really want to run Reaver in here. Hulking Devil Blood Mist combo. Not bad. Well, red ended up getting cut, but which is actually kind of surprising. Well, red's a popular color. I guess it's not that surprising, but we got most of our. We still have good, powerful red cards like Bombardment, Defiance, Smoldering Werewolf. Wait, that's it? Jeez. Really didn't get a lot of powerful red. I could technically go mono green. I don't think that's really what this deck wants, though. I don't think that's going to overall make our deck more powerful. All right. So we got to make some cuts. I'd probably run a Hulking Devil over a Reaver, but yeah, you know what? I probably would. I don't think we need the Wolfkin Bond either. Probably. And then 15 creatures is bare minimum. So if we separate stuff, Resurgence comes out. So we have to make 2 cuts. That's not bad. Just non-creature spells. So we'd have 6 4-drops if I play the Blood Mist. Maybe this isn't the Blood Mist deck. Like, it is good with the Survivalists. That's good with True Fate Sensor. Maybe it is good enough. Aim high can be a really powerful trick too, though. And we don't have any other way to deal with flyers, really, right? Just Gargoyle, maybe. So, Blood Mist might have to come out, even though I think the card's strong. Although it is our only enchantment, right? How do we get Delirium? So we have Artifact creatures, enchantment that mills land, sorcery, instant that mills, artifact. All right. Actually, looking at it, I think we can get Delirium pretty nicely in this deck. Huh. I might cut the Blood Mist. How many good Prey Upon bodies do we have? So we basically have... I'm going to count basically 3 toughness creatures only as good Prey Upon targets. So a flipped Prowler, a Pacifist, a flipped Captive, Builder, and Survivalist, and 8 of the Hordes for him. You know, and this flipped, even if you don't count the flipped guys, what do we still have? 3, 4, 5... 6. We still have 6 that are unflipped that are good with Prey Upon. That's probably good enough. I think the Blood Mist is going to go. And I think actually Crop Sigil might go too. I know. I talk about how much I like the card, but I do think Vessel and Grapple are just pretty strictly better. Although it's another enchantment too. Yeah, I think it feels like the cut. It does. I want all the removal I can get here. So we end up with Bombardment, Prey Upon, Rabid Bite, Aim High, Defiance. That's decent removal. And finishers are essentially our Survivalists. Honestly, this deck could use a Blood Mist. I feel like Blood Mist back with Survivalists is good, would just put people away. Like, otherwise we might struggle a little bit putting people away. Like, all of our flippy guys are going to get insane with Blood Mist. And we just really don't have a lot of finishing power outside of Blood Mist. Right? I mean, we're just relying on these guys. They're so much better when they have Double Strike. I've talked about the pros and cons of Blood Mist before. Basically, Blood Mist is only good when you're on in two board states, two board situations. You're either ahead or you're tied. It is the worst card you could have if you're behind, because it's not going to do anything for you. But if you're even on the board state, or virtually even, or you're ahead, it's going to put them away like immediately. So it's a high pressure card, which I feel like this deck actually wants. Like we really want a high pressure card like Blood Mist. I think I'm going to play it. It feels like a card that's going to win us games. I could go to 14 creatures and just cut the Reaver. But bringing in a card that needs creatures to cut a creature isn't great. But Reaver just doesn't seem like it does much for us. That's the problem. Reaver basically... I think we're going to cut Reaver. It basically... It looks out of place because it is. And it's just a Grizzly Bear. Like, at least Hamlet Captain has some serious upside with cards we already have in the deck, right? Like, this guy on the front end. The Builder, 3 Survivalists. So 14 creatures is typically like a bare minimum I'd ever want to run. This deck at least has the advantage of having Vessel and Grapple, so we can find more creatures too, which is nice. And this, I guess, technically can find more creatures too. But an equipment card and a Blood Mist in a 14 creature deck is something to be a little bit concerned about, as well as 2 fight cards. But like I said, I don't think Falconwrath Reaver is going to help us on that front all that much anyway. So, all right. So a bit of an awkward curve here. The Uvenwald Captive makes a world of difference in a build like this. Overall, this deck's fine. Like I said, red's kind of awkward in here because we have 2 double red spells and we're light reds, which means we're going to have to shape our mana base quite a bit. I think we're going to end up doing 10-7, which is fine. All right. So yeah, this is the deck. I don't think it's insane, but it's got some cool aspects to it. And like I said, I think if something was going to win us the game, I think Blood Mist actually looks like something that'll put some games away in a deck like this. So, all right, here it is. We'll see you in round 1.